Welcome to the news on Enyimba TV. We are reaching you from the commercial city of Abia. First, the headlines. Abia State government promises to offset salary arrears owed workers in trenches before December. Pro-Wike lawmakers ask police to arrest River State local government caretaker chairman. NLC asked President Tinubu to invite leaders of planned protest and address citizens' grievances. Thanks for joining us on the news at this time. My name is Esther Chima. Now the news in details. Abia State government has suspended the cleanup exercise for the month of July. This is according to the Commissioner for Information and Culture, Prince Okekano, after this week's State Executive Council meeting. He said that the governor, Dr. Alex Oti, will be in Arochukwu local government area on Saturday, the 27th day of July, to commission several projects executed by the mayor of Arochukwu local government area, Chief Joe Ezaro. He also disclosed that the governor directed the Accountant General to, within the week, pay all outstanding salaries of Abia State University for both verified and yet to be verified staff members. Contributing, the Commissioner for Finance, Mazi Mike Akbara, further revealed that payment for the approximately 18 billion naira arrears owed by the immediate past government will commence in August, while payment to be done in tranches of 1.5 billion naira per month for the next 12 months. In a related development, Abia State government has promised to pay workers in the various state-owned higher institutions of learning their salary arrears owed by past administrations. Addressing journalists at Government House Umahia on the outcome of this week's State Executive Council meeting, the Commissioner for Finance, Mazi Mike Akbara, gave a breakdown of how the total money owed came to about 18 billion, with APSU, HMB, APSUTH, amongst others, owed various months between 1 to 33 months. Meanwhile, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Publicity, Ferdinand Dekoma, has commiserated with the families of the policeman and the 3 persons who lost their lives last Sunday at Ngwa Road, Abia. He called on well-meaning Abians to aid with useful information that will help in apprehending those perpetrating crime in the state. Troops of the Joint Task Force Southeast, codenamed Operation Udoka, in conjunction with other security agencies, have raided camps of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB and its armed affiliate, the Eastern Security Network ESN, in Imo and Abia. The troops neutralized 2 IPOB and ESN commanders, recovered arms and ammunition as they raided camps of the group in some communities in Imo and Abia states. This is contained in a statement issued on Operation Udoka social media platform. It noted that troops raided and cleared IPOB and ESN camps at Ezioha Iziama village in Mbitoli local government area of Imo State. In the same vein, troops of Sector 3 of Operation Udoka also destroyed IPOB and ESN camp at Ezere Forest between Umuawa and Ako settlements that spans Okigwe and Umunoch local government areas of Imo and Abia states. The statement noted that the raids were in continuation of its clearance operations to deter the activities of the IPOB and its armed affiliate, the ESN, within the southeast, as well as its general and neighboring areas. Nigeria Labour Congress NLC has called on President Bola Tinubu to invite the leaders of a planned nationwide protest over hardship in the country, asking him to also address the challenges facing the citizens. NLC, in a statement entitled, "Mr. President should listen to the cry of the people," signed by its president, Comrade Joe Ajero, said that millions of Nigerians are not happy over the hardship in the country. He said the federal government cannot deny Nigerians their right to protest, adding that it is guaranteed by the Constitution. Ajero said it will be hard to prevent Nigerians from expressing their dissatisfaction with the government's policies. While it appears some groups are preparing for the planned nationwide protest against bad governance, others are pulling out of the demonstration. The planned protest, which has gone viral on social media, has generated some conversation in the government circle, with some appealing to citizens to give the incumbent administration more time to allow its policies to come to fruition. In a press conference, the Miyetti Allah Kutaho disassociated itself from the planned nationwide protest. In a related development, Coalition of Northern Youth Leaders Forum also announced its decision to pull out of planned protest by the youths across the country. National President of the coalition, Comrade Moritala Mohammed Gamji, while addressing journalists in Abuja, called on the government to arrest any youth using the name of Arewa Youth to protest. Meanwhile, past leaders of the National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, under the umbrella of former NANS Leaders Forum, have said there is a need for policies that specifically address the high inflation rates. Briefing newsmen in Abuja, NANS president from 1999 and 2000, Tijani Kabiru, said this could include measures to stabilize the naira, control food prices, and subsidize essential goods temporarily to ease the burden on the population. On the planned nationwide protest, he said he had received calls to join. He, however, said the forum will interact with relevant stakeholders and sister organizations not to join amidst dissenting voices. Senator Ali Ndume also wants President Tinubu to address the planned nationwide protest over economic hardship using dialogue. Ndume gave the advice ahead of the planned protest billed for August 1 across the country in a Monitor television interview. The Borno South lawmaker said that talking to the organizers, who are mostly youths, will help in dosing the tension and avert the planned demonstrations. Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics has suspended its planned strike over the newly released scheme of service for polytechnics. ASOP said its decision to suspend the planned industrial action followed engagement with the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman. In a statement released at the end of its National Executive Council meeting, the union said the 15-day ultimatum was to provide the government ample time to address their grievances or face diverse forms of industrial action. Senate President Godswill Akpabio has raised alarm over the persistent economic sabotage that has undermined investor confidence in the petroleum sector, declaring that the Senate must identify and hold those accountable for the criminal acts. He made the declaration during the inauguration of the Senate Ad Hoc Committee to investigate alleged sabotage in the sector. At the inauguration, the Senate President stated that it is not merely an investigation, but a rescue mission for the nation's future. He said that it is a matter of national security and sovereignty, and if left unchecked, could cripple the economy for generations to come. Federal government has insisted that the principal officers of banks who refuse to comply with the law on the windfall tax on banks' foreign exchange profits will be sanctioned. The government's position was reiterated at the National Assembly when the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, met with the finance committees of both chambers on the amendment of the Finance Bill 2024. Speaking at the meeting, Edun said the bank windfall profit levy, though small, still constituted an important contribution to government finances at a time when revenues had substantially increased despite minimizing taxes. Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adediji, who also appeared before the committee, said the bank gains have an adverse effect on others. A windfall tax is a higher tax levied by the government on sectors or businesses that have disproportionately benefited from favorable market conditions. Minister of Budget and National Planning Atiku Bagudu says the 3 trillion naira recurrent component of the additional funding in the 2024 budget is to cater for the new minimum wage. Mr. Bagudu stated this while appearing before the House of Representatives Committee on Appropriations to defend the 6.2 trillion naira proposed additional funding in the budget. Enyimba TV reported that President Bola Tinubu requested the National Assembly to amend the budget by adding 6.2 trillion naira. He also disclosed that the 3.2 3.2 trillion naira capital expenditure component is allocated to the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund, while using part of the funds to provide counterpart funding for major projects like the Lagos-Calabar and railway projects. Meanwhile, Senate and the National Council for Women's Society have sought to include domestic servants in the proposed 70,000 naira national minimum wage scheme. The call for the inclusion of domestic servants in the national minimum wage came from both institutions at the National Assembly in Abuja during a public hearing on a bill seeking an act to provide for domestication and registration of domestic workers and employers in Nigeria. The public hearing on the bill, sponsored by Senator Babangida Hussaini, was organized by the Senate Committee on Employment, Labor and Productivity, chaired by Senator Diket Blanc. The call for the inclusion of domestic servants in the national minimum wage scheme was spearheaded by Senator Osita Izunaso during his remarks at the public hearing. House of Representatives has launched an investigation into the alleged production and importation of substandard and adulterated petroleum products, as well as the non-availability of crude oil supply to Dangote and other domestic refineries. Deputy Speaker of the House, Benjamin Kano, announced this during the inauguration of the Joint Committee on Petroleum Midstream and Downstream. He emphasized the need for the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority and the Standards Organization of Nigeria to ensure all petrol imported into the country undergoes rigorous laboratory testing to meet global standards. Meanwhile, Minister of State, Petroleum Resources, Oil, Heineken Lokobri, and other stakeholders have held a meeting with the chairman and CEO of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, over issues surrounding the Dangote refinery. Those who attended the meeting include the Authority Chief Executive of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Farouk Ahmed, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, Benga Komolafe, and the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, Mele Kyari. The meeting focused on finding a sustainable and lasting solution to the current impasse affecting the Dangote refinery, with all parties demonstrating a commitment to collaborative and proactive problem solving. The Martin Namewule-led River State House of Assembly has frowned at the continued stay in office of the Caretaker Committee Chairman, CTC, despite a Supreme Court judgment declaring them illegal. The lawmakers want them arrested. At plenary, the leader of the House, Major Jack, informed the members of the certified true copy of the aforementioned Supreme Court judgment in his possession, which he laid before the Speaker. While presenting his report, the chairman of the House Committee on Local Governments, Ignatius Onwuka, raised an alarm over the continued activities of CTC chairman despite the Supreme Court judgment. After voting, Amewule called on the police to arrest the Caretaker Committee chairman wherever they were seen parading themselves. He mandated the chairman of the House Committee on Information to inform residents of the state of their decision. A federal high court in Abuja has refused to shut down all expenditures of Governor Siminalayo Fubara of River State, pending the hearing and determination of the substantive suit filed by the Martin Namewule-led Rivers Assembly. Justice Emeka Wike, in a ruling on the motion ex parte, ordered the plaintiffs to put all the defendants in the suit on notice. Mr. Wike, however, granted another motion ex parte by the plaintiffs to serve the 5th to 10th defendants with the originating process and other applications in the matter by substituted means. The judge adjourned the matter until 7 August for hearing the motion on notice. You're watching Enyimba TV News. After the short break, the news will continue with foreign, business and sports updates. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. Now the news continues. Democrats were in enchanted territory yesterday as they raised as they raced against the clock to find a new standard bearer after President Joe Biden's stunning late exit from the 2024 race for the White House. Vice President Kamala Harris was in pole position as the party promised a transparent and orderly process to replace the 81-year-old Biden, who bowed to Democratic concerns over his age and capacity to beat Republican Donald Trump in November. The announcement set off a scramble to confirm a new candidate at the Democratic Convention in Chicago on August 19, and perhaps weeks sooner. Democratic lawmakers and party elders, including at least a third of U.S. senators, some key governors, Bill and Hillary Clinton, have rallied behind Harris, who crucially also received Biden's swift endorsement. But many big names, from House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and his influential predecessor Nancy Pelosi to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and former President Barack Obama, were initially holding back. And now from the business sector. With a landing cost of 1,117 naira per litre for premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, the monthly subsidy on the commodity has increased to about 707 billion naira according to oil marketers' projection. Nigeria consumes tens of millions of litres of petrol daily. There are different petrol consumption figures from various agencies of the federal government. NNPC, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources have stated different figures ranging from 66.8 million litres in September 2022 to 44.3 million litres in October 2023. When the most recent daily PMS consumption figure of 44.3 million litres is multiplied by the 532 naira subsidy reportedly paid on each litre of petrol, it gives 23.57 billion naira as the daily subsidy spending. This means that in 30 days, the petrol subsidy should go up about 707 billion naira. And now sports. Adriana Lee da Silva is looking forward to a difficult battle against the Super Falcons of Nigeria at the 2024 Olympic Games. The Orlando Pride striker also declared that it is important for La Seleco to start their quest for a podium finish with a win. Brazil and Nigeria will clash at the state borders on Thursday. It will be the first meeting between both countries at the Olympics since La Seleco defeated Super Falcons 3-1 in Beijing in 2008. The encounter will kick off at 5:30 p.m. Nigerian time. And with that sports story, we wrap up this edition of the news on Enyimba TV at this time. But before we go, here is a recap of the top stories. Abia state government promises to offset salary arrears owed workers in trenches before December. Pro-Wike lawmakers ask police to arrest Rivers State local government caretaker chairman. NLC asks President Tinubu to invite leaders of planned protest and address citizens' grievances. Now that's our package of the news for now. Please join us for more updates in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, don't forget to subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Click on the notification bell to receive alerts when new videos are uploaded. Thanks for watching. On behalf of the production crew, my name is Esther Chima. Thanking you so much for watching. Do enjoy the rest of your day.